Heather, looks like the power's out. I can't turn on the kettle.
What do you do when your electricity fails? It happens more often than we'd like it to. You suddenly notice that your electricity isn't working. We don't always notice it right away since there are two electrical systems in play. Our lights work off the 12-volt battery system, so we often only notice that there's an electrical problem when we go to plug something in and it doesn't work.
In our camper, we have a really easy indicator right here. The TV is plugged into the same bank of outlets as the whole trailer. So if I see that small LED go off, I know that all the outlets are dead.
There are some simple steps to determine where the problem may lie and how to correct it. Let's walk you through it.
First, it's always a good idea to start at the beginning. Go to the source, the electrical box where you plug into your shore power. The problem can often be as simple as a tripped breaker. Many of the electrical poles have breaker switches right on the pole. The breaker switch usually looks basically the same as a light switch. Has it tripped? Just reset it by flicking the breaker to its off position and then back on. One thing to keep in mind, if your breaker has tripped, it is usually due to an overload situation. So before you reset it, you may want to unplug a few of the items in your camper that may have overloaded the circuit. Otherwise, you may be tripping that breaker immediately once again.
Check the incoming power with your surge protector. It's really a good idea to have a surge protector between your incoming power and your RV. There are sensitive components in your trailer that can easily be damaged due to a poorly regulated incoming current. A good surge protector will show you if the incoming power is hooked up properly, as well as protecting your equipment if there is a high or low voltage situation at any point in time while you're camping. Okay, we've determined that there is power coming in through the box. So let's make sure the wire is still solidly attached to the camper and hasn't come loose.
The next thing to check is the breaker panel. In our Imagine trailer, it looks like this. It opens easily by pressing on the top, like this, and it pops open. You'll see inside the fuses and the breakers. The breaker panel here controls all of the 120 volt circuits, and all 12 volt circuits go through this block of fuses. If a circuit breaker has tripped, it'll be sitting halfway down. All you do is you push it all the way off and all the way back on.
The next place we check is the Gfci plug. In our case, it's located under the counter in the bathroom. All the other plugs are connected through the same circuit, so if the Gfci is tripped, none of the outlets will function. Resetting the Gfci is done by pushing this little button here in the middle of the outlet. That should take care of most of the 120 volt problems. Hopefully you now have shore power restored.
Now what if you're having a problem with the 12 volt systems? Your lights, furnace, water pump, perhaps your fridge and radio are connected to the battery. As with the shore power, it is always best to start at the source. In this case, your battery. Does the battery have any charge? Perhaps it needs recharging with your generator, vehicle, solar panel or shore power. If the battery is charged, check the terminal connections. It is often said that traveling down the road with your RV is like subjecting it to an earthquake. Connections can come loose. Verify that they are all solidly attached.
All good? Let's move into the RV and check if a fuse is blown. We'll open up the breaker or fuse panel. Once again, push here. And here are the fuses. Our panel is designed to light up a small LED indicator if a fuse has failed. If yours doesn't have this feature, you'll have to pull out each individual fuse and see if they've blown. You can use an ohm meter if you're unsure. It's always a good idea to keep some extra fuses on hand in case one blows. Changing a bad fuse is as easy as pulling it out and installing a new one.
Most times that you lose power in your RV, fixing the problem is simple. It's good to know the basics to check first before having to deep dive or having to call an electrician. So, as an overview, start at the source. Do you have power at all? Check the connections. Check the breakers and fuses. Check the Gfci plug. Hopefully, now that you've checked these common areas where the power failures usually occur, you'll be up and running again.
Happy camping, and we're looking forward to seeing you On the road.
Check out some of our other videos and subscribe to our channel.
New content will be posted weekly.